Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. This is Spirit Journey. Today is, what's that, Thursday, June 8th, 2023. And the time right now is 5:37 p.m. How are we today? I hope you're bright-eyed and bushy tail. Yes, I'm doing fine. I'm doing okay. I've been resting all day. Yes, good afternoon, people. Yes, hello, visitor. I invite you to say hello in the chat room. Yes. Yeah, I'm doing okay. As I said, I stayed in all day. I was exhausted. Why was I exhausted? Well, I am trying to be more physical, do some exercising. I was doing little tummy exercises and stretching and my daily walks. And when I woke up this morning, I felt tired. My muscles are achy, my whole legs are achy. And I did check my app this morning, like usually before I get out of bed, to find out what the weather, temperature wise is going to be. I checked the weather schedule. And it's surprisingly, it did say that there was an air quality alert. And when I looked out my window, it was extremely foggy. Yes, hello, visitors. Good evening. Good afternoon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's still good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon. Yeah. So it was real foggy out there, and I was thinking, hey, maybe that's not real fog, but smoke or something really toxic. But said the air quality was not good. So I say, I'm going to stay inside, and I'm glad I did. Sometimes the body just needs just needs to do absolutely nothing. Yes, it's good to exercise, but sometimes your body just says, "Help, please give me rest." And so, you got to listen to it. So, yeah, I had my breakfast, and yeah, the first thing in the morning I drink my elixir. I drink my water in the morning, and sometimes I put my sea salt, turmeric, um, what else, and other things in it. Oh, what call it? My collagen, etc., etc. Yeah, just to get something good in my system, especially liquids. Yeah, I find that I get very dry in the morning, dry mouth, and just to get things moving there, keep those joints lubricated. Yeah, and it is true. The older you get, the more stiff you're prone to be. So I'm really working at it. Good body, good mind, right? Good body, good mind, and so I want to promote both in me. So, yes, the air quality was very poor this morning in New York City. And I got a notice from someone, one of my viewers, and they inquired, hey, one of your, surprised you didn't mention anything in your morning videos. So, yes, yeah, so I decided to also touch on about that, the air quality this morning in New York City. It wasn't that good. And I used that as an excuse to stay at home. Yeah, I didn't want to risk it. Yeah, it was very foggy out there, and who knows what's in that fog. So I said, stay in, just relax the muscles, get your water, and take care of you. So yeah, I'm planning on going out tomorrow, and yeah, so we see. So I'm going to talk about a few things today. Yes, I put out there. I posted something maybe 10 minutes ago, just before I did my doing my live stream right now. It's my little doggy Woggy's 10th anniversary that he uh, has stayed with me on a permanent basis, and I'm really, really proud of him. Yeah, let me show you a little picture of him. Let me see. Let me share the photo. Just take me a sec. Let me press it here. Share screen. Yes. Okay. That's allow. Okay, let me share. Yeah, I hope you see him. He's Lavender. He's a little Pekingese. And yes, his eyes is that color in the center. When you shoot a flash, the light reflects off the back of the retina, so it looks kind of like funny. His eyes are dark brown, you know. Isn't he adorable? Yeah, when he was smaller, his whole face was jet black in color. And as you see, he's getting a touch of gray, or I should say light brown. He's adorable. He's my little man. He's adorable. He's my little watchdog. Yes, anything that comes by, walks by, he hears something, he alerts me. He's a very, very good boy. A little high spirited at times, you know. I don't want him to always bark at, when we're outside, bark, 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 bark at other dogs. But he's a good boy at heart. Really, really sweet. He loves people. But again, with the Pekingese, he's a pure-blooded Pekingese. These dogs were royalty dogs. They come from China originally, and yeah, they have their they think they're royalty, and yes, he has a royal edge to him, but he's really nice. He's a sweet little boy. So say hello to Lavender. Yes. And I call him Lavi for short. Yes. Yes, he's behind me right now. So that's my little boy, and I had him, got him 10 years ago yesterday on a permanent basis. And he is also 10 years old. His 10th birthday was January. Okay, so you can say happy birthday to him as well. Yeah. Yeah. So he's like 10 and a half now. So that's him. Okay. I just want to share that photo with you guys. Okay. Okay. Yes. So I got that out the way. So let's see. Yes, so I'm glad I have him. And yeah, I want to talk about some other things. I'm going to talk about this vision I've been having. Many of you know that I do meditation in the morning. And oops, let me just check that. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm sorry. So what happened there? Um, I got distracted. What was I talking about? Yeah, I do visions in the morning. I mean, I do meditation in the morning, and but now that I do get up early to go out, so I don't do it as much. So the time that I do the meditation is after I come back. So I want to share that with you, what that has been looking like, and I'm going to talk about Uganda, the country Uganda. That's a country in East Africa. And I'm also going to talk about this incident that happened in Florida. You know, um, let's see. I'll talk about the vision thing. Yeah, I've been doing the meditation since 2014, but 2017 when it really, really peaked in the type of things that I see. And how I do my meditation, it's something that I devised, and it works for me, and I get pretty good results. Upon awakening from sleep or dreaming, I keep my eyes closed and in a state of awareness, like you could say to yourself, I'm awake now, um, and you just steer through your eyelids, and you just relax. Like you're prepared to watch something on your TV, okay? And then oftentimes what comes up is an image or like a video, something moving, like a video. And I find interesting the things that I've been seeing. Um, the texture, the coloring of the things that I'm seeing seem to be changing. It's not as sharp. Everything seems what I see seems faded in color. Um, I don't understand the color that I see, but it's light and dark, but it's pale. Now this is what I saw. It was 2 days ago. I think it was about 2 days. I saw upon awakening these beings. I know it sounds very bizarre, but yes, let me show you. I saw in my vision, my eyes are closed, what looked like two um what do you call it? Two crocodile or alligator shaped type of face beings. They were kind of looking upward. They had large, very full, large eyes. It was a lighter color. The iris was a lighter color, and the face was a darker color. And my impression was that the two were female. They had a very feminine look about them, and they were looking upward. And then it looked like um, I mean the shape was very definite. And then something else came forward. It was kind of um, um, like a shadowy figure kind of stepped forward, but it was the shape of like the crocodile face. But I didn't see any eyes, just like a silhouette. So I didn't see the two what looked like two female um, alligator people or crocodile people, and just this figure. And the figure that came forward seemed to have a masculine energy to it. Yeah, it's really weird. The textures of the coloring, like if just imagine like when you close your eyes, but imagine that, okay, it just if you could distinguish between two of the same type of shape, or one slightly lighter than the other, you could see, like two yeah, two different shades, but it was very distinct, enough, but they still had the paleness. But um, that's what I saw. It was just really weird. I noticed that's happening a lot now. In the past, I would see things in color, like v- um, real to life color. If you've seen a tree, a green tree, things like that, a blue sky, a white bird. Yeah. And I'm wondering, what is the significance of these beings? Now, I did share, I think it was last year, I had seen the alligator slash crocodile being wearing a red robe. What do you call it? What do you call it? Robe? What do you call it? Yeah, a red robe. It's something like you pull over. It has a hood, and it had a masculine energy to it. And it was with three or four other humans, and they were wearing like black robes, hooded robes, like the movie Eyes Wide Shut. like the robes that they put on looked like it looked like they were standing shoulder to shoulder, looking straight ahead, and then I'm seeing them at a maybe a 25, 30-foot distance, and I'm kind of to the right, my right over, so I'm not in the direct view. And I just got the impression that they were coming onto the scene, going into something. And I feel like they were about to start a service slash ritual thing like that. People, these things are real, these beings. Now, when I do these meditation, I don't say to myself, oh, okay, I want to see such and such. No, when I wake up, whatever what comes out comes out. So I'm wondering, am I seeing these things? What makes me see these things? Where are these things located? Is this something that is on top of this earth, underneath the earth, somewhere in another realm? Where? Yeah, the power of the mind, people, the power of the mind is something that, see, when I see things like this, and here you have people who say, I don't like such and such race of people or nationality or etc. Honey, there are beings out there. You don't like white or black people or yellow people or red people. Well, you might see some type of green, something with a reptile with large eyes, claws, things with bird feet. There are beings out there. And I just felt that like like the two lady crocodiles, what I felt was females, um, they had a beautiful look to them, and they didn't seem frightened of me. And I think, I think I might have said to myself, I don't mean any harm. I try to mentally think, maybe if they could hear what I'm thinking, you know. Yeah, I never am able to get any audio. Now that would be something else, people. Yeah, I haven't learned that. And if any of you who know about meditation to learn how to hear and see, please let me know. I haven't learned the art of what do you call it, to hear what I'm seeing. That would be powerful. That'd be absolutely powerful. I haven't acquired that yet, but it seems like I'm really seeing a variety of things. And today, I think I saw, yeah, I saw what looked like a large bell, like like a church bell. It was very faint, and yeah, very faint, and it looked as if it might have been an off-white color, and it had a seal in the front of it. See, it looked pretty. Um, yeah, I saw something like that. Sometimes I see, what's that? Sometimes I see the ground. I might see, yeah, I used to see a lot of tile floors. Like there's a standard tile floor like they have in bathrooms. It's like I think it's a five-sided, like it's about an inch big. Each piece is like a five-sided. What do you call it? Pentagon. I used to see that a lot. Yeah, so I don't know the significance of that. Yeah, I see various objects. I've seen rooms. I've seen people who I don't know. I've seen animals flying, birds. It's really fantastic, really fantastic. Yeah, and I know it might be odd for some of you. Yes, and I do not do drugs. I do not smoke. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. And you too, people, you too will be able to see, have visions also during your meditation sessions. Go try it. It is something that is free to do. And I encourage you because it's going to open up your understandings about life. What is life? What is life? Again, people would say, oh, I don't like this or that group. Well, these other groups exist. And I think it's going to be in the near future that these life forms will make themselves known to you. So I encourage you on your terms to do this meditation and explore your reality. Reality is not limited to what you see with your five senses, your sense of touch, sight, smell, taste. What is that? Yeah, I think that's it. And hearing, all those things. They're not limited to those five senses. And then your sixth senses, you're like your psychic ability. Yeah, start exercising it and really explore, to have another understanding that this is just like a game. They want us distracted by what we see. They want us hating one another. And right now they're doing the hate game. At least in America, they're doing the race card again. Yes, again. And for example, in Florida, there was another um, bang bang, I'll say. A bang bang was used, two neighbors, and they had kids. It's a real tragedy. They both have children, and they were, I guess, play. They were friends. They had each other's belongings. The kids had each other's belongings. One had someone's iPad, another one had someone's roller skates, and unfortunately, this family feuds were, got the best of them, and allegedly, so one of the neighbors threw something at one of the people of the other house, and then the the parent from the other house came to retrieve their child's belongings. And when they knocked on the door, the person of that household did a bang bang, and that person is no more. Wow. It's on that it's a that see that is a tragedy. Yeah, so and again they're gonna use the race card. There was the black and white card. It's unfortunate that any human being was killed. Yeah, so condolences to that victim who did get, the bang bang. Very, condolences. It is a real tragedy. Um, yeah, we got to chill out, people. You know, your kids. Come on, you're an adult, and your kids were playing. Don't use that race card. Your kids were playing. You had each other's stuff, and then things got out of hand. So a period of about 6 months. That you know, it's a shame. You're gonna, your neighbors. And yes, it's unfortunate. Sometimes neighbors get, they get into disagreements, but you got children. It's hard. Things are hard. After the COVID-19, things were hard for everybody. Come on. Can't we just take a, exhale, people watching, and wow, who would have thought that morning that that would have happened to that family? That it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. And so, you got these organizations now, the race card, you know, and it's not some racial issue. The kids were playing, but it got ugly. See, they want you to focus on these dynamics out there. Don't fall for it. And I really wish that the community of, the Black community, yeah, it was a Black woman that got shot, and that the neighbors were white. But it's a tragedy, regardless of the race of the people involved. But there was a big shooting. There was a shooting at a graduation, Black on Black crime. Allegedly, a 19-year-old shot the father and son. And I'm old enough to be both of their parents. The father was in his 30s, and the son was about 17 or 18 years old. I'm old enough to be both of their parents. How sad. And there's no rioting and protests against people banging at a graduation. No boycott, no protests. That's what I'm saying. Protests, no protests. Or over the Memorial Day weekend, you had, what was that, a 50 shootings in Chicago alone. I think they said 50. And no protests. Why is it that we protest for things, when the numbers are really high and it's Black on Black, you never say anything, which reinforces to people that live around you that you don't care about yourself. If people see that you don't love yourself or your neighbors, your Black neighbors, don't you think other people that live around you of other races or nationalities, they're going to be worried to be around you? If you don't love your own, you cannot love your other people. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It's sad. You have to start loving yourself. You have to start disciplining yourself, because people are watching you. People are watching you. And people from your own are watching you. There is a spirit of mistrust within the Black community, but it's only you can resolve it by saying enough is enough, and start educating your children and educating yourself and coming together. You need to come together. You need to elevate your mind. People, it's time to elevate your mind. Why don't you do the morning meditations and ask your creator to give you a download of something fantastic to liberate your thinking, to think outside of the bubble, outside of the box, I meant to say. Start thinking outside of the box. There's so many different groups here in America, what you call people of color, and they seem to be thriving. You have to start asking yourself those questions. Ask yourself, yes, there is politics in America. And yes, historically, like I live in New York City. And yes, historically, New York City is a has not been good to Black people slash African people. But now in New York City, we have a Black mayor, and you have a lot of people. You have a Black DA. These people in office. See, not everybody. What a YouTuber taught me: skin folk doesn't make them kinfolk. How accurate is that? Yeah. See, they're getting people that might look like you, talk like you, act like you, smell like you, but they don't represent you. They don't represent you. But you put them in there because you think they represent you, but you don't investigate them. A lot of these people are Masons, frat boys, sorority girls, and they make their allegiance to the system. They give their pledge, their donations every year, and they get their jobs and favor, and they get placed in there to remove and control you. How could you have a Black mayor from one of the worst parts of New York City? And this mayor does absolutely nothing for the community he was born and raised in. I come from Queens, near the area where our mayor was raised. And when I go to visit family in Queens, you know who's on the street looking like a crazy person? Black people, Black men usually. And once in a while you see a Black female who's cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah, I know I might look cuckoo in this picture, but I am of sound mind. Yes, I'm very sound mind. And all those businesses, when I get off the train, all people of color businesses, they're darker than me. And they're moving up, they're buying homes that worth several $100,000. Yeah. In 10 years' time, honey, they'll probably be running for office, political spots. Oh yeah, they are gonna thrive, thrive, thrive. And you're dying. And I don't see any of the people that you're voting for representing you. Yeah, you're selling out. Yeah, you need to start opening your eyes, and you need to look beyond the veil. Start looking for your best interests. Start developing yourself. You need to come together as your family. You got children right now? You got children living in your house? If you have that time today, you sit down. Maybe you get like a candle or something like that. You can dim the light, you put the candle on and hold hands. And you tell each other that you love each other. And whatever differences you have, let's put it aside and let's start asking your higher power, who's your God, and ask them for deliverance and community and healing over your land. Healing. Ask for it. Ask for favor. And you may want to collectively go to your lawmakers and say, we see this happening. We want to change. We want something better for us. We see that things are happening. Yes, summer is around the corner and school will be out. And so where will your sons, especially your sons in particular, between the ages of 13 and up, where they're going to be this summer. Well, I tell you where maybe you can go. Have your kids go to the library. Have them say, because if your place doesn't have air conditioning, they have cooling centers. The library, the museum. Educate yourself. The beach. These are free activities. You need to, because here summer isn't even out yet, and in Chicago, Black Chicago, 50 shootings in one weekend. Honey, could you imagine 4th of July that's coming up? What's going to happen in these large cities? Why is it always you? You're being targeted and you're falling for it. And you need to use wisdom. You need to take control over your mind, body, and soul. Only you could deliver yourself. It takes you to start, and maybe other people could assist, but you have to make the decision. You are being sold out by your representatives. They sold you out. They relied on you to vote for them because of what they looked like. And you assumed they represented you, but they did not. Yeah, you need to get ugly at the officials that you're voting that sold you out. You focus on things on the race card rather than in house. The problem starts in house. In house. There was no, what do you call it, protest in Chicago for those 50 shootings. And the likelihood what race those people were in Chicago. Were there other shootings with other people like this? Why is it always in these demographics? Well, you are being targeted and you have to wake up and you have to save yourself. Rather than waiting for a space god to save you, you have to save yourself. Sit down this evening with your children, your household members, and strategize a way to save yourself. You need to strategize a way to protect yourself, to elevate yourself. You have to do it. You have to make the move in order to thrive. You have to be the one to start it. Sit down tonight or in the near future with your household. You could sit at the table. You could put a candle on the table, something dim lighting, hold hands, you dim the lights, and you give a prayer from the heart, and ask for what you need. Ask for how you're going to deliver yourself from this situation. If you live in those troubled neighborhoods, ask for what you should do. Ask for wisdom. Your church has failed you. Did you know a lot of these churches are designed to suck your money out, and you do nothing. You do absolutely nothing. Any God that does not serve you, you need to find a God that serves your needs. If they don't serve your needs, throw it out. Throw it out and if you want to believe in a God, find one that loves you. Find one that serves you. And if it serves you, then you serve it. Does that make any sense to any of you? The God that you're worshiping hates you and is making you look like a laughing stock. And you need to wake up and throw out your old God if it's not serving you. You need to start serving yourself, and you can do it. You have resources that you haven't tapped in on. You haven't tapped on the resources that you actually have. Start assessing what you really have, what you do have. Come together as a family and strategize a plan. And it may need, you may have to move. Sometimes when you are in this spiritual dilemma, when you're um, tapping into your spirituality, you no longer fit in the old neighborhood, and you stand out like a sore thumb, and you may be forced to leave. Well, that's a good sign, actually. If you that like a little child. You have the little baby shoes, right? You're not going to have the baby. You want the baby to become a man or woman, right? So it's going to grow. Well, you too, you need to grow. And when you start to grow, you may need to leave your environment and ask your higher power for guidance and where to go. Try it. Try it. Some places, it's just so dangerous. It is so dangerous, and you don't want your kids to be exposed to that. Yeah, you need to do something because it's not even summer yet, and you're in danger already. 50 people got shot in Chicago alone over the weekend for Memorial Day weekend. One is too many. And then now you have these neighbors. Come on, people. I mean, see, I think with this COVID-19, people and neighbors are afraid of one another. They did that deliberate to make you afraid of each other. You got a funny mask, surgical mask, you're walking around. You start to disconnect. You need to see the whole face. And there are people still in New York City who have that mask on. Wow. It's sad. Yes, some people may have allergies, things like that, and it might help them a little bit. But honey, yeah, yeah, don't fall for this hype. Um, and maybe some days you just need to stay indoors a little bit. You may need to stay indoors, or if it starts to get too hot, you have the cooling centers. Yeah, call your your local, like in New York City, we have like a 311 number. I think it's 311 or 411, I forget. But it you can call them up and you find out what, like, if you live in New York City, cooling stations, or if you need food, things like that. Find out ahead of time. Stock up on water. Drink your water, people. You don't want to get dehydrated, things like that. Yeah. Yeah, think of things ahead of time, what you might need, and what you could do to prevent certain things. And sometimes you have to leave at a time where, to avoid people, like with the, unfortunately, the mother who got, bang bang by the neighbor. Um, you may need to avoid people, and so you might have to change your hours to avoid certain situations until it simmer down, you know? But it is a tragedy. It is. Some things is easier said than done. Yes, yes. Easier said than done sometimes. Yeah. My condolences again for that Florida family. The second thing I want to talk about is Uganda. Yeah, there's a leader in Uganda. That's a country in East Africa. And the president of that country, they had to speak to this female, some representative, I think from the UN. I'm not sure who. I forget who. I don't want to give wrong information. But the guy spoke to this woman, and I saw that interview, and it rubbed me the wrong way. I was I very rarely see like when there's a president or what do you call a prime minister? They usually usually they're men and they send another man to talk to that person. But I noticed with non-Arab Africans that they like to send white women there, and it just stood out to me. But how the woman came across to me like she's scolding the black African man. And I'm wondering whether they do that because they think the black African man is just going to listen to the white lady because of social conditioning, like the Miss Daisy syndrome. What I call the Miss Daisy syndrome. That Miss Daisy, something Miss Daisy. It's a movie, American movie that came out. Oh yeah, Driving Miss Daisy is called, and it's one of those. It the movie's supposed to take place, I think, in the 1950s or 60s or something like that, and the Miss Daisy is a older white woman, and she has an older black male driver, and back in those days that the black men had to speak very polite to the white lady because she might get offended and have her husband you know take care of business. So I don't know whether that's what it's all about when they get these European white women to talk to the African man, and it's like a scolding. But anyway, what was being said, they the system wanted the Ugandan government to give uh, rights to the the alphabet soup community. Um, and if they don't comply, that the US is going to pull aid to this African country. And the African country said that it is their culture that of certain lifestyles, the certain behaviors, and some things they're not going to tolerate. And that they're willing, it sounds like he's saying that he was willing to stand his ground even if they pull aid. Now, people, I think it's evil. It's like like it's telling. It's you remember the movie Oliver? There was a movie that came out. I think it was the 1960s or 70s. Oliver. It was a poor white child in Britain, and the boy lives in like in a orphanage, and he says, "Please, sir, can I have some more?" That was the line, the popular line in the movie, and the boy is hungry and is asking the head guy for more food, and it was like gruel, like porridge, and it was a big scene, and it's like if you don't, you know, be more appreciative or whatever, you're not going to get any more, and that's what it made me feel like it's an abuse of power to say, to do this to a nation. Um, but um, I would figure many of those people in Uganda know what hunger is, and so to pull a little toy away, it's like easy come, easy go, you know. But when you Um, in my opinion, when you exploit your power upon someone weaker than you, that k- karma is gonna come to your door. Yeah. Yes, that's what I think what would happen, that things will start knocking on your door. And things are already knocking on Americans' door. You too may require aid, because see, the system is coming about that we may have a food shortage and Nubian. Yeah, food. Yeah, there might be a food shortage, the violence, and you may need to leave a country. Just remember that. I mean, people are vulnerable right now. We have more. What do you call? At least in New York City, all we have so many more people, migrant workers. Somehow they're getting jobs over American blacks, and I wonder. I went in this store. I've been going to this one store for about 20 years now. And I was talking to a woman that's been working there for I've seen her for a couple of months, and she said she doesn't speak English. I mean, I've said good morning to her, and I thought she understood, but that she doesn't. You know, how is that someone who doesn't speak the language is able to get a job in this fantastic supermarket? It's a small market. It's a health food store that has produce and all these other stuff for supplements and things like that. Now, I am not anti-immigration. I am not anti-immigration, but I am pro-American. And when I see that who I see on the street are people from my community, and somehow newcomers are able to get these jobs, I question, and I question my mayor who's allowing this to happen, my black mayor. And he doesn't take care of the people from his district where he comes from. He comes from South Jamaica, Queens. And it's one of the poorest sections in New York City. And I have family in Queens. And when you go into Queens, the homeless people that you see in Queens are not any of the migrant workers, but are homeless black men that look really spooky. And when I see this, I'm wondering what's happening. But I assure you that these migrant workers, when they have children here and when they get of age, when they if they want to apply for office, they'll probably get into political office, and they are going to make sure that their own are taken care of. But taking they're not taking care of them. They're not taking care of them. Why? And I believe a lot of the black leaders are being paid off. I believe they're being paid off, and and there to hold the black community down. Don't start noticing places like in DC, Chicago. There's no reason why these blacks to be in the state they're in if their own are in public office. They are being paid to keep you down. And I believe that the religion that many of you practice, and the religion that I used to practice. I used to be into one of the yeah. I'll just say I was a so-called Christian most of my adult life until I had an awakening. Whatever religion serves you, you serve it. If Christianity serves you and edifies you and lifts your family up to be great human beings and good thinkers and all that good stuff, stay with it. Whatever what religion or practice that edifies you and your community, stay with it. But if it's not helping you and it's evident that your God and your leaders in your community are not there to serve you and you're looking for a savior, and I'm saying you need to start saving yourself. And to start to do that, why don't you, if you have your family with you, okay, let them, have them come home tonight and say, we're going to have a breakthrough. You sit down at the table, you put your candle in the, light a candle, if it's safe for you to do so, hold hands and start, speaking from your heart, the good and the bad, and ask for a breakthrough and ask for, community and healing. Start doing that and see what happens, because it's not even summer yet, and the blacks are just killing it's themselves, and they don't get upset, and then they wonder why people are afraid of them, because you don't like yourself, and people who don't like themselves are in danger, are a danger to be around other people because they might hurt them also. Does it make sense? It makes a lot of sense. So people don't want to open the door because how you treat one another. And look what happened. Some people are shooting through their door. Some of the people are shooting through their door rather than open up to you because you come across spooky. Spooky. Wow. Spooky. We do spooky things to one another. We're being taught to be afraid of ourselves and to be spooky, to act spooky. Yeah, the church ain't helping you. They don't want to help you. They just want to take your money. And they allow in these communities fast food joints that's killing you. It's killing you. Yeah, the power is in your hand, just like Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz. The power is in your hand. You got to start clicking your heels and say, enough, enough. Enough is enough. Don't buy, please, don't buy that fast food. And you fat mama, start cooking and preparing your own food. But you go around and say, I'm tired. I'm just so tired. Yeah. Cook your food like on the weekend. Cook a batch of food, right? And you put in little storage things in the freezer or refrigerator, and you got a meal. That's what I do. I'm making batches. You gotta get a big pot, make like a big stew of healthy ingredients. Make that, put them in little containers, and that's your meal, and that's your breakfast. And you'll save money. You'll save money that way. Yeah, you see a lot of those foreigners and West Indian people. They make their peas and rice, right? And they do so because it's too expensive to buy out. So they prepare their foods at home, put in those little containers, and they eat it. Eat your own food. Did you know that more of the people who make their own food and eat their own food live longer than people who eat foreign food? My ancestor, my great great grand aunt, yes, she was born in the Caribbean. She lived to 107 years old, and her other siblings, I think they were in the 90s or something. So, how could someone like that live that long? Well, she probably ate her own food. She didn't eat that fast food junk. She probably ate her fish, right? You get it, fish. Fish is very healthy for you. Fish. They like fish and rice. Like from the Carolinas, they have the fish too there, right? Make your own food and start learning about your body and your own medicine. These doctors can be dangerous and they rely on your ignorance and they pump these pharmaceuticals to do havoc. And you take it. Just because a doctor pushes it in your face doesn't mean you have to accept it. You say, no, thank you, doctor. You need to start healing your own body. That aspirin, it's like your body isn't sick. But, if your body needed those aspirin, you will be born with it. You're sick not because you don't have the aspirin or whatever. You're sick because something that went in it. And the stress that's out there. Yes, stress kills, boy. Yes. Start cooking your own food. Screw those fast food joints. Screw them. You should be boycotting that, but you want to boycott anybody who's a different color that hurts your feelings. But yet you're killing. It's like you don't reprimand your own. It's like 10 to 1, 10 black people and one white person. But you focus on that one white person when a bunch of 10 of them are surrounding you, killing you. Because you don't love yourself. That's what no one wants to really talk about it. Because they don't care about you. You need to start caring and loving yourself. Start caring and loving you. You are the most important thing out there, the person you see in the mirror. Start loving yourself for a change. It's okay to love yourself. You got plenty of people of all variety of colors and shapes that are doing well. They're doing better. They're going to outdo you. But there's still chance to take control over your life. Like I mentioned, like this world, this is only one dimension. And I shared in the beginning of this live stream that I do meditation and I'm seeing different beings. I've been seeing different beings. And you're saying, well, you don't like people of this color or that color. Well, these alien beings are different shapes and they're real. You need to go beyond. I mean, this realm that you see, it's not all that's there. People, you need to tap onto the other dimensions to expand your thinking, your abilities. Yeah, you need to come together. You need to come together as your family or community and say, "Hey, there's a better answer out there." Yeah, you got to start doing that. They're just trying to they're trying to manipulate you. Keep your children at home. Give them chores to do. Give them chores. Chores mean work, assignments. Keep them at home. And if they have illegal stuff in your house, throw it out. Tell them, get out. Start cleaning your community. Why don't you protest those drug dens in your neighborhood? Get the what's that civil rights lawyer. Get him to come to your neighborhood and say, boycott those drug dens. Get him out. But you know why they're there? See, usually those guys. My speculation is that those guys are living at home with their mom or their auntie or grandma, and they're getting money from them to get their stupid weave and nails done. They're a sellout. Bunch of losers, in my opinion. In my opinion. But we know that that's the deal usually. Or the girlfriend. Bunch of losers in your neighborhood, and you allow that. Eating slop. Oh God. It is slop. It's a slop. When you do that, you share to people that you don't like yourself. I mean, when I have to go and visit family, and you know what I noticed in my community, that neighborhood, they always have these murals of all the deceased that get banged. Eh, would you want to move in that neighborhood? Say you don't think. When you put things like that, put it in your side, put it in your house. Don't put those murals out in some busy highway, and people could see the mural so and so, because you're inviting death spirits in your neighborhood. Death. You're claiming that spot as a spirit of death. I know it's not what I'm saying might be offensive, but look at it. Look at it. You putting your laundry, your dirty laundry outside, and then you wonder why people don't want to do service for you. I wouldn't want to go there and do service. No, I don't want to be around anything that is of death. I like to be around the living. The living. Start focusing on the living. Start living. Start focusing on that. See, we love to focus on negativity. It's hard. It's really, really hard. Start thinking positive. Have positive outcomes. Have beautiful murals of life. Get rid of those fast food joints that are hurting you. Get rid of those drug dens. You never lift a finger about those things that are really important for survival. And then you're gonna blame the next foreigner that comes into your neighborhood. Come on, you gotta start using your head. You gotta start using your head. Yeah, let me look at these messages here on this side. Okay. Yeah, a Nubian. Yes. Yes, playing phone tag. Yes, all is well. Okay. It's a lot of smoke in your ear. Oh, it's a lot of fog or something. Yeah, it's like a mist. Very strong mist out here. Yes, yes, it's a strong. Yeah, I stayed in today. I thought it was fog or something, but you're saying that it's smoky. Yeah, they said the air quality was bad for today. Yeah, I'm glad I stayed in. I'm glad I stayed in. Um, yeah, I pretty much. Does anyone have any questions for me? I pretty much shared the things that I came here to cover. Um, yeah, again, the condolences for the people who the family in Florida, the mom. It was a family feud, two neighbors, and one caused somebody's demise. It's sad, and children are involved. And then I talked about the Uganda, the rights there. Uganda um, is being pressured by the U.S. to modify their law because it's against. Oh, I know what else I was going to say about that. Yeah, they are. Uganda has different moralities than the U.S., but the U.S. wants Uganda to change its stand on certain lifestyle choices. And I asked myself, another YouTuber shared this. You have countries like the what do you call it? Saudi Arabia, um, China, all these nations that have very strict rules regarding a lot of things, but the U.S. does not withhold its gruel from them. Why is that? Why? Why, when it comes to sexual matters, that non-Arab speaking African nations have to succumb? You have Muslims in Uganda. So how come Ugandans can't say, well, our religion, but Saudi Arabia, Morocco, etc., Pakistan, Afghanistan, how come those nations aren't being pushed for the alphabet soup lifestyle, but Uganda does? Why is it that Black nations are being forced to accept a certain lifestyle, but not Arabs? Why is that? Why is that? I I mean, does anyone have any idea? Again, I would imagine a place like Uganda, the people there are so used to not having, to not give them their gruel for who knows how long. I'm sure they couldn't live without it. But someone might withhold things on Americans, and just toilet paper. Remember with the toilet paper, you saw over the media when toilet paper was pulled away. What happened? People were fighting. And so, could you imagine people? You're going to pull the gruel, so to speak, from these poor African countries so they'll accept something that is culturally not a part of them. And, isn't that like blackmail? If you don't do this, I'm going to do that to you. It's coercion, but you don't do that to Arabs, or Arab speaking nations, or yeah. But see what you do, what goes around comes right back, and they could just withhold. I was, it's not funny, but I'm visualizing my head when I saw this real heavy set woman fighting for toilet paper. Because they feared that they're not going to have any toilet paper left. People. I mean, to fight for toilet paper, fist fight for toilet paper, with a nation like this, one of the richest nations in the world, and you're fighting for toilet paper? People. See, you're dependent on these luxuries. Luxuries. Has it ever dawned on people that you can use alternatives to toilet paper? I use I we have fabric stores here. I yeah, the fabric stores in New York City, and you can get soft, durable cotton cloths, cut them in small pieces, and utilize them for to go to the bathroom. I haven't used toilet paper from my home for a number of years before COVID, and I don't miss it. You wash it out after the use. You have your sink. You wash it out. Your private. You use a different type of cloth for your privates if you're female, and you rinse it out. And there's no problem. You can have it for your whole family. Each family member will have their own stuff. And when they got to go, they bring it with them, rinse it out, and put it in, hang it up to dry. It's that simple. Don't fall, and you can get a hanky for your nose. You get buy cloths for your nose, a hanky, and you just wash it out every day. There's no problem. Don't look like this fat ass woman fighting for a tissue. You look foolish. You look absolutely foolish. Start using wisdom, people. This is America. This isn't the country of clowns. It's turning into a clown nation. A clown. My goodness. Aren't you embarrassed? If I were overseas and watched some of those videos, I would be absolutely embarrassed by you guys. You don't seem to be embarrassed. Come on, you're laughing stock. Come on. Please wake up, people. You need to wake up. Please wake up. Wow. So yeah, I got it for what's on my chest, and I care about you guys. And yes, today I kind of spoke a little firm, but we need to wake up. We need to wake up, and there's power in your head. You know, to maybe do some meditation. Try to get solutions to problems. I mean, I'm a work in progress myself. And if you need to stay at home, stay at home. Don't hurt anybody. Stay at home. Chill out. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, a Nubian, are you still there? Let me know you stay there. You do you want to talk over the phone? Let me know. Let me know. Yeah, yeah. This was a very quiet day, and yeah, my body just needed to rest a little bit. I just needed to rest, and yeah, it's just one of those days. Yeah, the signs of the time. Yes, it's very, 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 very hazy, foggy. Like it's really more hazy than fog. But early today, yeah, yeah, it doesn't look very clear out there. But I'm hanging in there. Yeah, we're gonna do okay. We're all gonna do okay. We just tell ourselves that. You know. Um, yeah, that's all that I have to say today. And yeah, yeah, and again, it was Lavender's my little boy's pitch. My little boy's anniversary yesterday. Yes, he's been with me now for 10 years. I'm really happy for his arrival and everything. And if you got a little pet too, that is their anniversary to them as well. Okay. So thank you again for allowing me to share this live stream with you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace, love, and joy to you. And yeah, I'm gonna try you, Nubian, to see if you want to talk on the phone. Peace, love, and joy to you all. Until next time soon. See ya.